Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Digger Bishop here. And tonight I wanted to talk to you all about a little something that's been going on. Well, actually two major events. And of course, they're actually linked. Now, one is a major schism within the Magic the Gathering community. Just bear with me here. I know this isn't Magic the Gathering channel, but just bear with me here. And of course, an encroachment into the Warhammer 40k community. Now, what am I talking about? Well, simply put, there is a YouTube channel commentator. I'm not going to give his real name here, but he goes by Unsleeved Media and The Quartering, as well as a few different Twitter accounts, which have all been either banned or blocked due to a, I would have to say, coordinated attack against this man. Now, what's been happening basically is that this guy who runs the channel, specifically like the political opinions from his channel, The Quartering, things like that.
I must say, you've done a tremendous job, Hunter. Oh gosh, this is a dressy voice.
Jesus fucking Christ! Can you shut up? Okay, that is my fault for not muting this freaking thing, because these guys like to talk a lot. Sorry. A little unprofessional there. Okay, so. Anyway. So what's been going on is that this guy has been subjected to I'd have to say, coordinated attack of the perpetually offended, as I like to call them. They go by, there are several different names. Special Snowflakes is another synonymous name for them. But I prefer the perpetually offended, because these people cannot just, find a problem and then solve that problem and then everything's all good. No. They have to go looking constantly for a new problem in something. And they don't start off, thinking, that there might be a problem, and then they go looking for evidence. Like, they don't use any burden of evidence to even suspect that there's a problem with something. Usually in this case it's a fandom. In this case, obviously, like I said, Magic the Gathering. Saying that there is a problem with sexism or misogyny or female representation, yada yada yada. And they do it in every single fandom that they invade. And I say invade because this is literally a war for them. They use entryism to get into a hobby. They infiltrate said hobby. They claim aloud, without a shred of evidence, that there is rampant sexism and harassment and blah 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 blah. within a community. Again, no real evidence, just accusation. And they don't even start from a neutral perspective. They go in with the intent that, yes, there is something here, and we will scour the entire fandom until we find what we're looking for. Basically, they come in with the preconceived conclusion that X is true, and then they look for whatever, even the flimsiest of evidence, to say that yes, our our preconceived notions are correct, and we can never be wrong because X reason. And if you disagree with us, well, then you just hate women, you hate inclusion, you hate this and that. Basically, if you don't believe, you're a heretic. If you question them, you're a heretic. If you have any opinions of your own that differ from theirs, you're a heretic. Usually the word heretic is replaced with this ist or that ism or something phobia, which they have a habit of using very, very liberally. And always, of course, in the wrong context. Because a phobia is an irrational fear of something. And for some people, well, I don't know, I guess cracking open a dictionary or even typing in a word into like a search engine just it's beyond them to do their own bloody research, I guess. But in any case, so what has happened here is that it's pretty much too late for Magic the Gathering community because of the fact that they have a full-scale invasion on their hands. Or say they have been fully infiltrated, they're full of SJWs, with the preconceived notions, like I mentioned, with no evidence. And, you know, with these people, it's evidence be damned. We have an agenda to push. Anyhow, what has happened with, well, I suppose I couldn't use his first name, Jeremy from the Quartering. Yeah, whoa, okay. Yeah, we're just going to wait that out. Well, I'm going to just wait that out. I'm not going to... Screw you guys. Basically, the long and short of what happened is a woman who basically tried to trade in on her looks, dressing in skimpy versions of costumes, to get donations from, how shall I say, oh shit, less than socially inclined members of the male gender. Basically, she was a really low-rent version of a stripper, almost. Or maybe a burlesque dancer would be more appropriate. of a term. Yeah, burlesque dance. A low-rent burlesque dancer would be the term. Anyway, so now this man, Jeremy, his opinion was that he is not in favor of women who do this, you know, just trading on their looks and don't actually dress up because of the fact, like most cosplayers, they dress up because they are fans of the fandom. They are actually true fans and love the lore. They love everything about it. And so when people like this just do it for the simple fact that they just want to make money, it tends to aggravate some people, especially other cosplayers who do dress up to be just fans. And honestly, can you blame them? Now, his opinion was that you should not spend money on these dishonest, low-rent burlesque dancers. I'm paraphrasing here, but let's just put it this way. Some of the terminology actually used in all this is not common knowledge to everyone, so I'm just somewhat translating, shall I say, so I can make it relatable to more people that watch this. Now, what happened with this particular low-rent burlesque dancer is she was a failure at it. Okay? She would get donations on her Patreon, basically, and her business was drying up. So, what did she do? Well, what any perpetual victim or, you know, person desperate to make a quick buck does. She created controversy. She basically said she was quitting. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She said she was quitting, and the reason was for years of harassment. By this one person, Jeremy of Unsleeved Media and The Quartering. Now, it was only this video, there was only this one video. I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna link it in the description. Actually, I suppose I could use the Count Dankula version. Nah. Anyway. Basically, the guy had made one video and I think a couple of tweets like months back before this freaking firestorm had started. And basically what happened was this low-rent burlesque dancer decided to blame her failures on him. Now, one thing you gotta understand is that he was already disliked by some members of the community because he had a different opinion than what was mainstream. You know, the PC crowd. He had a different opinion, and they didn't like him for that. So when she decided, hey, here's an easy target I can send all these people to beat up on, that's exactly what happened. I'll give her one thing though. I'll give her one thing though. She's definitely an actress because she's kept this freaking lie going. Oh yeah, she's definitely kept it going. And then, of course, all the big names start bandwagoning on her. On Jeremy, sorry. And ganging up on him. Some people come out to defend him. And, of course, those people are crucified. And then, of course, you got people that they'll cover the story, but they'll sugarcoat it and try to say, you know, it's not as big as it seems, or downplay certain events, or, you know. I don't know why people do that, honestly. Why sugarcoat it? Especially with the fact that this guy has been doxxed, his name and address have been posted online, the names of his family, his mother and father, their names and address have been posted online. There's been a website created specifically with instructions on, well, it wasn't a website, it was a, Facebook page or something like that, a Reddit post maybe, on how that specifically taught people how to do this, how to dox, how to flag videos, how to basically people fanning the flames into a firestorm. Now, the end result of this, of course, is that A, he got banned, for life, by the way. Yeah, he got banned for life. Not only did he get banned, but Wizards of the Coast decided that they were going to steal from him. That's right, they actually did steal from him. Sure, it was their merchandise, but he legally bought it from them beforehand. Bought it with his own money. They repoed it from his account. And didn't even compensate him for it. They didn't give him back the money. They just stole it and said, "See ya, sucker." Yeah, they actually did that. So, yeah, all that happened. What does this have to do with 40K? Good question, glad you asked. What all this has to do with 40K is this kind of shit, it can and will happen. if we as 40K players do not stop it, if we do not make a big enough stink now, if we do not tell Games Workshop and pretty much everybody else, hey, no, this is not cool, we are not having this in our community, we are not having this in our hobby. Okay, now there was a Bell of Lost Souls article where they gave a voice to the administrator of Feminist 40K. Now, regardless on your opinions of feminism, this person obviously is basically a religious zealot. Because this person went in with the assumption, or to say the preconceived conclusion, that there is a rampant sexism and misogyny problem and lack of representation in 40K. That's not true. In fact, the opposite is true, where there is plenty of representation of people from all different races, backgrounds, etc. in 40K. But this person, and of course, is pushing for, you know, all sorts of things. At first, they're just going to push for little things, like, you know, what is that? Conversion kits for, like, female guardsmen and stuff like that. And I'm going to actually link to a couple of... I'm going to actually link to Arch Warhammer's videos on this. Again, though, regardless of what you may think of feminism, regardless of what you may think of Magic the Gathering, regardless of what you may think of 40K even, the fact is, this shit is dangerous. Okay? And before I get, like, accusations of, you know, Alex Jones level conspiracy theories and shit like that, I want to remind you of the fact that this already happened to the Magic the Gathering community. Okay? This is... Actually, it's more prevalent in Marvel, really. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Where you can take a look and see the objective, you know, numbers with Marvel. Yeah, okay. If you're someone who just pays attention to their, what is that? If you're someone who just pays attention to their movies, you're not going to really notice this. But if you even have a passing glance at their comic book line, you'll know the... Actually, yeah, just type in right... Actually, I'm going to leave a link in the description to a channel that honestly has been on the front line of the Marvel firestorm when it comes to their comic books. I'm going to do that. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of links, okay? I'm going to do my best to cite sources and give you other people who have done the background research on this, okay? I know what I'm talking about here, but I would just like you to see it from other people's perspectives too, not just mine. In fact, I'm actually going to link also to a video by a YouTuber by the name of Sinatra Says. Or, if I can find it anyway. Where he is completely neutral on this, has no real, stake in the game. He's not even a big 40K fan or whatever. He's not a real 40K fan or Magic the Gathering fan. He's just another guy. And why would I do that? Well, hey, I want to provide as many perspectives as possible. Let's just put it that way. So, let's see, what else was I gonna do in here? Anyway, so, what I'm saying is that this can and will happen in the Warhammer 40K community because it's happened already twice before. It's actually happened multiple times. It's probably happened in more fandoms than I probably am even aware of. Okay? The ones I know of mostly are Marvel and Magic the Gathering. Those are the two I know of that have had this infestation to the point where they can't recover it. They just can't do it. Now, like I said, regardless of what your opinions are of the fandoms, feminism, whatever, this was straight up an attack and robbery. That's what this is. That's all this is. It's a straight up attack and robbery. There was no reason for this shit to happen. It just did. And the malign, manipulative scumbags who are trying to cover up for this, or, saying, oh, he deserved it, he was asking for it. Yeah, okay. I'd like to see you try that if somebody broke into your place and stole your stuff. Or ran a 24-hour smear campaign to ruin your life just because you had an opinion different to theirs. Yeah, I'd love to see you try and justify that. And to be honest, I've seen this once before, even before Marvel. One thing you might not know me is I was a part of the original Gamergate. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of press around that, and whatever. But the point was, now the point to Gamergate originally was the fact that a person lied about their ability to, actually make games, lied about their credentials, and then basically what ended up happening was this person basically decided, well, I don't have the talent to actually keep up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sleep my way to the top, is basically what she decided to do. And at first, that was the singularity. And then it was set off into a nova, basically, is what happened. The nova was the fact that, well, the entire gaming industry is corrupt. Or at least the smaller dev teams and all that are corrupt. And it was actually mostly about ethics in games journalism. That was the main focus of Gamergate. Now, similar to my call to action here, is the fact that this is about ethics. This is about people just thinking they can get away with doing whatever to anyone, regardless of how illegal it is. They can do whatever they want based on, oh, we feel this is the right thing to do. Well, I hate to tell you, the law doesn't give a damn about your feelings, or at least it shouldn't. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to leave a link to a petition. Yeah, I know, petitions are pretty much meme-worthy at this point, but it's to get him reinstated along with another friend of his. Well, I guess I can't say they're actually friends, probably just like colleagues maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm going to do that. And if you want to sign it, please do. This honestly isn't about just free speech, because that's basically what happened was the guy got basically shamed and robbed for having his personal opinion. Or should I say, the guy's been harassed and robbed, basically, because of having his opinion. And the fact that they actually did this, I don't know, I'm kind of torn because of the fact that, yes, I am a big free speech advocate, free speech for all. But it's also the fact that this is a dangerous precedent. That companies can just steal from you, and people can just create an entire harassment campaign to destroy you. Basically in the name of their religion. And yes, I call social justice a religion. Because it is just... It reminds me so much of that. I don't know what else to say about all this. Aside from, this needs to be stopped now. The incursion into 40K, the 40K fandom, the overreach of Wizards of the Coast when it comes to Jeremy, all of this it needs to be stopped. I have been Jaeger Bishop, and thank you for watching. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.